this episode on, the boys must be crazy. And we are talking about in creating a brand, as a creative in the industry or, creating a personal brand, is fake it to make it something you must consider, or you have to stay authentic. Show your true self, as some people will say. Welcome to the biggest podcast in the country. My name is Kobe West.
The boys must be crazy.
And today on the show, let me go straight into introduction. Today on the show, I have Mami introduce the Akani. We are my banners. Yes, so the regular and usual suspects you see on the show every day. To my far left, fine boy Seidu. He's the manager of the biggest rapper, my biggest rapper in the whole of Ghana. Strong man, yes, Namatiana. Give it up for Baby Bash, man. I need work on the band. Yes, and sitting next to him is the ever pretty, soft, live Bridget Diva, man. Oh, give it up for Diva, Charlie. Yeah, I'll kick you with your wow. Hey. I was talking about collection. Yes, now to the guest. He's not a guest, but a guest on this episode. He is 2024 Hype Man MC of the Year.
Pio.
He is, he's undoubtedly the guy who made TGMA, I think, attractive to all Ghanaians. They do baby and reviews. I didn't know baller, but he made it attractive. Yes. Give it up for my brother, man. And my boss. Yes. The portfolio, the MC.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
MC
portfolio, the MC. Who can
MC
portfolio? What's the brand?
The
Portfolio, the MC. Yes. Let me start this conversation with portfolio. Portfolio is always about branding. He's iconic for his. Is it hat or cap?
Yeah, beret.
Hey, beret.
Yeah.
They
say beret. I used to say beret till someone corrected me.
But that's a Lebanese word, I think.
Well,
It is.
I don't know.
And you always hear him with some
Gold.
weird looking gold.
There should be a gold. There's a gold on the body.
It's a porcupine ring, actually.
Is it this one? I think you have a lot of them.
Yeah.
But this is like a porcupine, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I
He's
perceive.
always portraying Ashanti, the Ashanti culture, man. So it's good you are discussing this, topic with us.
Yeah.
In building a brand, a personal brand, or a brand as a creative, is fake it to make it the go-to option, or you have to stay authentic.
Well, okay, privileged to be here. Good to see the family once again. It's good to be back. And I think one of the most misconstrued definition of branding had been the fact that people think it revolves around your outfit or your outlook and all that. But I feel it's broader than we think. I think I would say that what people say about you when you are not in the room or present in the room is what defines your brand to the core. I get it. And so when you are not in the room and in a competitive discussion, when I say in a competitive discussion, when the discussion revolves around players of a particular field, when we are talking about maybe creatives, we are talking about entrepreneurs, we are talking about maybe teachers, we are talking about bankers, and then within the sector, we have a lot of players in those sectors.
Yeah.
Right, and we are having conversation about you, why we should single you out amongst the lot.
Yeah.
What is that conversation that will set you apart from the other names? So that's your unique selling point, right? Your unique selling point might not necessarily be something that is fetching you money, but the fact that it keeps you in the conversation or top of mind awareness. So if you ask me, it's about what they say about you when you are not in the room. So for me, I think this is the first time maybe I'm opening up on this or something. Maybe I'll be to baby or because portfolio is bowed. I've been keeping this for a decade. I've been keeping this beret for a decade and all that because I knew what I wanted to be from the onset. But I got to know that I am not exceptional with whatever thing I'm on board. So is it about speaking impeccable grammar? Or being eloquent? Someone is more eloquent and operating in the same field like I am. Someone has an amazing voice as well. Someone dresses better than myself. So what is the exception? However, if someone is not even familiar with your name, they are able to describe you a certain way. So I was intentional about choosing this beret because I had to find an uncommon outfit.
But why this?
Yes, an uncommon outfit because
what is the story behind?
No. So
you could have chosen anything.
Anything, yes. So this one. So let me big up my stylist, Salunel. Salunel actually was the one who owned this beret look. I get in it. And when he started styling me, he at a point in time would style me and then undress his beret and then put that on me. And he became consistent. So at a point in time, that was when he was picking up as a fashion brand. Oh, okay. And I was fronting for him because I had gained certain level of popularity. And I was like, look, why don't you front this look rather so that it gathers the traction that you need? Because I think it fits you better. And he changed to something else.
So
and
he gave up a style and gave it to you.
And I got to know that it was receiving some, I think it was receiving some commendations and all that. And it made me stand out. So I'm not bad. I'm very hairy, even more than perhaps people watching or whatever. I get it. Then also, there was a picture I wanted to paint. I am glad that anytime I'm able to make any statement, national statement, now we are talking about all these accolades, which I'm humble. But there's one thing, that guy from Ashanti region that did it. That Kumerican boy that did it. So anywhere I enter, people expect me either to talk about something Kumerica or Ashanti, look Ashanti and wear Ashanti or represent where I'm coming from because it was intentional to be that Kumasi guy who has made this national statement and still representing the city. So by way of how I even, there are sometimes I could be speaking regular English, but I'm very intentional about planting some proverbial saying instead of my origin in the show.
But don't you think that Kumasi tag is wrong branding for creatives from this part of it?
So someone had to start it and break the genes. Someone had to break that. That is why I'm saying that things that people felt you can't be in Kumasi and do it, no.
But you know they still refer to you as that Kumasi.
But then that Kumasi boy, it feel me to me, no. I could feel more. Just I could feel that there is a sense of fulfillment that comes with getting certain national recognition. Being resident in somewhere they least expect.
No.
You don't understand?
Don't agree with that.
You don't agree.
That is see that it affects me to the core. There should never be a distinction. I've worked in Accra for
I understand.
There shouldn't be distinction between Obi or popular or Accra. So Obi a radio presenter or Accra or IFM. On your popular, not only the punch or YFM.
No, but you see, sometimes
we have to, draw that line.
Okay.
Say, we are Kumasi to say Obi a strong man.
Right.
Strong man is not a Kumasi artist.
No, but he's the Ghana's best rapper.
Yes.
One time, yes.
And for Kumasi member. Oh yeah.
No, but
solid guy, so rapper.
Good. That is because if strong man choose to say on a brand, or person represented Kumasi, he should be okay. But on okay because me, I have 4 portals that report strongman as Kumasi based rapper or Kumasi rapper strongman wins TGMA best rapper. No, he is the whole Ghana's best rapper and has to be accorded as such. I am okay because there is a statement I want to make. Anywhere I enter, people might see Kumerica in the room.
We'll get to that Kumerican part.
Yeah.
Now I want us to talk about the branding. You make it. Yes.
So fake it till you make it. I don't believe. I want to rephrase that as polish till you shine. In the famous words of my brother Kobe Chain, fake it till you make it. And it's the entire say in branding. You have to always. You can start with it, but one element of branding and a friend consistency. It's seated element of branding. You're identifying your brand, identifying your purpose, identifying your audience, and one key element is consistency. Anyone who has been consistent with branding, they are able to see results. If you fake it, it is very expensive. One, difficult. 2, consistently fake it.
But I want to ask, hold on for a minute. I want to ask Bash.
Yeah.
So do you have to fake your first impression? First impression is very key.
Good.
Do you have to fake your first impression to give that impression that you deserve what you want to get from that particular person.
Okay, I wanted to wrap up. Then
okay, yeah.
So what I'm saying is, if you're faking it to make it as part of a brand building strategy, it's able to fetch you the returns that can make you come back living your original life. It is profitable. So that is why I'm saying with first impression, then what you just brought in there, it is just fine. What they are saying, but because one key element of branding is consistency. If it is a fake life, but because consistency is part of branding, you have to use your first or prelims impression to get what you want, to polish your original authentic self, to create a brand that can last and also a man of durability. And therefore you are able to position yourself a certain way. So so make sure even if you are faking it to one thing about brand building is I was already you're a fan of Adena Adena who faking if it is who faking it with car, who faking it with because if you fake it with maybe how you speak, fake slang, that is not unless you be also how no or I American minded such also to me laugh manifa emanate me menge with certain audience near there. He is a fan of Sadino. But only a fan of Sadino say you criticize brand mawa untimi sustain a big good brand and mass. Oh, you're a fan of cars. If you pull up to get an opportunity, it means that when you have the right resources, that thing now fake, you are going to invest in that thing and create an authentic brand for yourself. So I feel that because of consistency, make sure say what you are faking is something that you actually represent and reflect your true inner self, so that when you have the resources, then you can go on with that thing. Else, if two different images now faking palm brand na show na say you are not authentically related to that brand, it will vomit you out.
So Bash.
I think my first time of understanding what branding is back in high school. Now there was a contractor working in our school, and he was explaining why he got a car before he built a house. And what he was saying was there's this contracts where when they go to seek for the contracts, even nipa no se ushiana, the way and manner ubi nipa krono. It also speaks to them accepting or agreeing to whatever you bring on board.
How you smell.
So he was talking about how he's lost some contracts because the type of car he didn't used to drive. So how he drove, like he probably went in a taxi and then came out. And because if you're dealing with somebody who's going to give you like 700,000 cedis, and then you go meet the person and you are in a taxi or something, it's scary because even how secured is the money going to be with you if they have to pay you? You understand?
That is the trust aspect of building a
You understand?
Yeah.
So for branding, what happens is that if you want to even fake it, it shouldn't be so much of something that drives away from how you can maintain it. Just like how Portfolio was saying, it's all about how consistent you can be with it. One Love Kobolo chose to wear by let's say for lack of a better, let's say skirts. And then now he's wearing it forever. As long as he wants to be known as that guy, that is just it. So if you want to do that, it's very difficult for you to be able to do that. With Strongman, I've been working with Strongman for a very long time. So I think at a point in time, in the beginning, we had a little bit of problem with the name. Because when you go on Google and you just say Strongman, it comes out with people who are like buff
muscular and all that.
So it took us a way deeper conversation and a deeper effort to be able to come out with a search engine, even on Google, for you to have your name to become so strong, your brand to become so strong that it pulls out you instead of any other thing else. It happens to the best of us. Sarkodie is not called Sarkodie, and Sarkodie is actually people's names. So then, now when you Google Sarkodie, who comes first? It's not even his name; it's a nickname, but he's been able to own it. So brands have to be able to be. You have to be able to relate to the thing and be able to live along with how the whole thing is. You can choose to be. Cosetta used to be that rapper without a shirt. And then people ended up loving it, and he was able to live with it. How do you sustain that? In the beginning, people were like, "Oh, I and all that," but he knew what he was building. Kim Promise is that guy, the hairless guy. He has hair. If you look at all these pictures, he has a very good hairline and all that. He needs
But it
to
looks
keep
like
that.
Ghanaians, you like basing branding on your physical.
Yeah,
appearance.
so I'm coming towards that. So for what brands is, for me who works with like musicians and artists, and I work with Strongman, even his tonation, it stands for his brand. If you hear there are things that he says in his songs that you know automatically Strongman. When a song starts and you hear, hey, let me tell you one thing that you probably have never realized. There's no song ever which Strongman has mentioned his name in there. He's never mentioned Strongman in a song. Never. Not even one song. Or you hear, hey,
Yeah.
and you know, yeah, that's the guy. Why? Because he started it and then people didn't know why he was doing it. And now, anytime you hear somebody else might be rapping and you do hey, and it goes like that. It even goes to the extent of people trying to rap, and then it goes like, oh, or rap it is a strong one. Why? Because you sound like it. He puts in proverb, he puts in his, you understand?
Yeah.
The chi element is in there. And Port was talking about being represented in Kumasi. He's always wanted to be that person who has lived in Kumasi and made it nationwide, but not tagged as the Kumasi rapper.
That's before breakup.
Yeah, so he is the rapper who lives there. So if you tell me, oh, Accra-based rapper, it means that's where you base. But if you tell me Accra rapper, it's a bit derogatory.
Right.
But
So
you see, they never tag the Accra rappers. Rappers.
So what happens is that it all goes into how you keep and maintain your brand. We
add
work
it to
with
their brands.
narratives. So what happens is, as I talked to you about, as I was talking about the name thing, we reach a point where we had to be intentional about these things. So up until today, I still write articles and send it out for blogs to post out.
And then
so if you
to support you mean that branding can be consciously engineered.
no, it is consciously engineered, except for when it's accidentally happen. There are brands that accidentally happen for people.
Facts.
So you don't even plan it and something happens and you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Facts.
But Kumasi, you first started
So
engineering.
an example,
They vex
Amrado
you
said the team didn't even want to release a singing song because he's a rapper. And then one time something happened and then he posted a video on TikTok and it blew up. And then he rebranded and became that rapper who can also sing
But
and
you
became
can,
a hit
you can
song.
even use Paluta as an
No,
example as well.
Ramrado's own wasn't intentional from
yes.
what he's saying.
Accident.
Okay.
It was an accident because from what he's saying, he says the first video he put out, it was an accident. He didn't intentionally go like, okay, let's plan to
Because
do this.
comparing with Paluta way before had done, he has
A lot of
catalog
singing.
songs
A lot
that he
of
was
singing that he
so
sang.
it was no news.
Yeah,
to
so
Paluta.
it just blew up.
But Amrado was okay.
It was-
let me try
yeah.
my hands on something.
But
and
actually,
do
yeah, what industry ni watch it? Yembra personal.
Yeah.
Mama ko Bridget.
Oh, okay.
But me, but before then, I mean, top you up a strong man, then wrap you up. You see, the other part of branding, beside how you look, using strongman as a case study, it's also the perception you create in people's mind, these are abstract. These are things you don't see physically, but what you hear. Imagine there are some artists who wanted to create a brand and narrative in people's head. He said Omuoska right from the onset. So you see them rapping about control, my name is boy is a Jiska Lamborghini. Strongman stayed authentic. So imagine the fake it will make it part in American. Imagine Strongman had come to the game and Bash has told him, say, bro, say Game Boy is in the Warsaw. Into yes, you rapping about game, but that is not Strongman. And Strongman started off rapping about Yellow House, Magic Control, I'm kind of gift card. How long is Strongman go? Because he can't relate to that world.
And even
not his field.
speaking
It's
of
not his fault.
so-
Obetimi aye no, a blow, a one. But baby, it will owe him up.
And what
Obe
happens,
clown.
and what happens is that for these things that you
Yeah.
talk about, appearances count too.
Right.
So let's say you start rapping and then all you talk about in your music is how you have a Lamborghini, you have this and that, and there's the point where you have to show up for events,
Yes.
you have to show up for meetings, you have to show up for your regular rounds. And how do you cope with the brand that you built in your? Because there's a lot of
And
people where
you
you
end
meet
up
them.
without.
Yeah, there's a lot of people you meet.
Really,
and
you have not made
now-
even enough money to finance the fake nimpo
na portfolio na mo can
Yeah.
all background
Yeah.
taxi ni scene trotro mu no see.
Yeah.
You understand?
So I don't think the force of my auto Benz nana.
No, it helped because the reason why I bought a Benz was because
Na ni sika na aba.
let me.
That's the
see,
first thing.
No, Nancy. Oh, your lifestyle upgrade, But one thing, Krana, na minim say I could have bought a car that is equally, even more expensive than a Benz. But because Ghanaians have a certain attached to Benz, you know, even if the Benz not cost
it gives you a class. It gives you a class.
So when I was using not a Sonata, my first car.
Yeah.
Was it Vito or
Yeah,
Moses?
Vito. Yeah, a Marcos Ciano. I was at the mall. I thought I was chilling, bro. I'm popular, I'm portfolio, but I didn't pay attention to how people will perceive me in the car that I was in.
Yeah.
I felt, Charlie, my baby Juma Meko, you know portfolio is an amazing MC. What else would you look at for portfolio? But at a point in time, I felt you pulled up and people get disappointed.
Yeah.
Like, but bro.
It ends up diminishing.
So I didn't understand people. But sometimes, whether you like it or yours, branding is also people's opinion about you and trying to make sure that you reflect the opinion. If that is what I'm saying, say sometimes. So it's not about that is what I'm saying, say I did it now because I have what it takes to afford and even afford more. But previously I was not going to kill myself. So what I do? I was lucky to have friends who were using luxurious car. I'm not tagging myself that portfolio owns a Benz or portfolio owns this flashy car or Civic. What I say. But then I have friends who could make me pull up and reflect the brand that I have.
Yeah.
That one, if I pull up, I don't owe you explanation whether the car is mine or not.
That's true.
Yeah.
What I say. Yeah. So part of branding and building it is also using your social capital to reflect your image. So that is why your social capital is part of branding. Sometimes when I was using that in Marcos here, even when I was using that car, people still had a certain level of respect, though I was using that low-class car because I was hanging around a certain set of people. And I was very intentional about that. So, and then the kind of programs I was posting, because I have done very low-key, low-budget programs that I won't put out there. Yeah. But I've done my Jimmy Sika. Yeah. But because it didn't reflect me, I didn't put it out there because Jimmy Sika. But I could go to a very classic program, which perhaps had paid me less. But when I put it out there, it reflects the image and the brand that I built.
And it affects any future dealings that you have to do.
So let me wrap up. So then I transitioned to the Civic, then to Sonata. But I got to realize that still now what's who upgrading? Still now branding is who
yeah.
What they say? What they say? So yeah. So that is how.
Emma, fake it till you make it. It wasn't more. I'm on. They say our industry. The much say about personal.
Yeah.
Emma, fake it till you make it, and I say who stay authentic in relationships. Say yeah, who pia kwa scout. Who's them? I am yes I did. And I say kwa scout. I am fake. And the compare big fish. Quote unquote, and I say must stay true to yourselves.
These things, it comes down to where you find yourself, the kind of environment you find yourself. One, because there is no way say, let me use I need one of the rural areas. Or the infant say there's no way say I find myself in Damongo, right?
Yeah.
And then I decide to pull up and then my jewelry's all over with this luxurious hair. Yeah. I wouldn't do that at Damongo for anything.
Yeah.
I'm not degrading people of Damongo, but yes, I don't know. But bring me to Accra, okay? Text me, Friday afternoon 12, lunch at Soho. Now looking at the environment now, Soho this is Soho. White restaurant is here. Marriott Hotel is here. Surrounded airport residential area to be precise. I wouldn't go there looking like, bro, I say a 2 year free film. But
are you faking it at that point?
That one, I don't even call it faking. I've polished myself in a way.
You dress to fit. You dress to fit the environment.
So long as the hair I have belongs to me, the jewelries are mine. But
we have Accra girls, in the Kumasi girls who borrow wig.
So even not about the borrowing of.
That's what I'm saying, sir. That's what I'm saying. So on portfolio can be say before no use innovate no who say. He's just going about his daily life. To me, baby. To me, I am just representing myself in what I have. Okay? Hey, girl, you was a big girl. One, I've not tagged myself anywhere. Means now, baby, Anka say me a big girl and a big baby.
You are giving out a picture.
No. One thing we have to debunk. I want to support her. We have to debunk that. We have to stop. If you are there,
Let's normalize letting people live their normal life.
it also defaults the example, the explanation you gave for Brandon. Nobody comes out to tell you, say, I am rich. But nobody, when you were driving those cars that you were mentioning, nobody came out to tell you that you were poor by driving those cars. But the car you move with, the house you like, where you live and all that, actually tells what it is. So now, per what you are saying, if I invite you to Soho and you're coming to Soho, and then what you have is a 50, let's say a 10,000 CD hair, a 10,000 CD hair.
You can't wear slippers to Soho.
So, but what I'm saying is, you have a 10,000 CD hair, a bag, you're holding a 25,000 CD bag, and then you're dressed up and all that. But inwardly, you know, say, I did way I bought it to actually fit into this sort of crowd, and not just because when I go here they don't allow this sort of people. That is when
it's been intentional.
That's why people see you and realize,
oh, you see that mango. Mami farmer crack. Oda otika switch baby. And I know the mattress crowd from ye entirely ho. Udaro abonting.
Kobe.
But to me, I shall wait 10,000
CDs, which could have bought you or got you a.
She didn't borrow. She didn't borrow. No. She didn't borrow. No. That's policy.
Even if I'm coming, even if it is faking it till you make it, I just want everybody who would watch this episode to have it in their head. Faking it till you make it is way expensive than you think soft life is. To be poor is very, very expensive. If no one ever told you, okay? Because you are trying to look very presentable for yourself and for somebody who sees you outside. You can't go out looking like your problems. Yeah, it's now will be our problems, right? Oh, but one found there and shame maybe my family are pamatari. But here's the case: we are all sitting here looking all sorts of and fresh, right? Obi who bash is here. Somebody will probably bash a comment, but okay, but probably it's still part of his plan. Metias is here. Somebody be like, "Hey, girl, no, the way I will see Kasa, she's fluent. I know I'm fluent and all that. Main call Zanzibar, but somebody will sit behind their screens and have a different perspective. Say the way I see Kasa na, I know Metimia Bobe. 2 top places and other stuff, meaning I am doing very well. I am not. I'm just trying to live my best life. There is nothing like you faking it till you make it.
So
it's being authentic and how consistent you can be very
so what we are saying. So this is where
you can't say okay.
If that's what you're saying.
I use Bond Street as an example. Okay, it's not the only hair it makes me. I can say luxurious hair. We have Brazilian, Peruvian, other grades.
Peruvian.
Staying in Kaswa doesn't limit me about how to dress or where to go. This
is what we mean when we talk about brands, right? So brands and the fake it. The fake it to you make it. So that means you're faking it.
Even if it is faking, I am trying to let you know it is way expensive. Those money, those people we all see on the internet. When you go deep, shit, okay? They have bad days, bad records. Currently, as we speak, one influencer is trending very badly.
For Owen.
But a week before, no, according to that for birthday, a Pakistan box, and they are trying to say on J.
But on the 7,000.
Or the cat, okay? Sometimes no, when say, the son, I was so weird, the son, and why the fata. But the fata and son, so that doesn't mean
that is why we are trying
to profile.
No, and just unim. That's why I said some of the brands happen unintentional. So if I see you every day and you're driving, I create it creates a perception in my head.
Who creates
you? Okay, your movement, what I see. Brands are all about what you see.
It's true though.
It's mostly about what you see. So how you speak, how you talk, how you walk, and all that. It's what makes your brand. You understand? I say, girl, you're dressed the same way you. Why? Because that's how you dress. So when you do things thinking, say, people do, forget about, let's do personal. What's in normal neighborhood? Obi to me who no say, hey, get your chin who or act it to say.
Yeah.
You understand? Every corner one share that self person will dress it to say obi o. One person will dress it as portfolio. But if you are na you go drink show. What share bire ni bi no. Onam obi hey portfolio cheni bi na share no. You understand? It's you didn't do it because you want people to feel like that's how it is, but it ends up being like that. That's how brands work.
But then,
So if you go somewhere and you see somebody in Ghana here wearing a skirt, immediately, do you know what Swiss wear? Almost a skirt, that's their culture. But now, when you see somebody wearing a skirt, you go like, oh, what dress is a One Love Kobolo? Why? Because he's popular enough to make the thing popular, and it relates to him. Can relate to him on Sempabwa. So you use Akranam na Akra of your crana on an amphone on Sempabwa. Hey, Cosempabwa, not on your One Love Kobolo. Why? Because One Love Kobolo na ye ubia what branding and who to that extent. So when you do and people, there are people who like they do the whole Sakura thing, and then people see you and like, hey, where they can promise who?
Yeah.
Why? Because Kim Promise is popular, and because that's attached to what he's doing, it makes it.
Okay.
Skyface wears a baklava, and then he masks himself, and then people are like, "Oh boy," and it puts the misery, and then it's part of your brand.
I think we have to do a part 2 of this because time Nico, but as in Kumuna yedi no, it's with creatives no.
Yeah.
We personal side nifima with creatives no. BBI outward.
Yeah.
Is branding all about you keeping it brief now and wrap it up about physical appearance. I said the home because I said Ghana from conversation enemy and I said I said majority of them omunina
so because
wait
so because the first things about people is what you see. That is why that comes first when it comes to branding.
Do you think Ghana creatives no more last year?
It's not just about Ghana. It in general, branding is mostly what you see first.
I mean, Kendrick Lamar, I mean, Atadia or show.
On his when about Tadimwa on Kahu.
Brand
yeah. So no. The brand was so based on when you talk about Kendrick Lamar, what you talk about is how his lyricism and his rap style.
But then it's also a brand.
But on the same thing, Abuchele Owen, you know him for probably the way he dresses. No, maybe. He has a lifestyle of why Rasta, why face tag. That's what you see. That's what you see. And then what we are no, and then you also come to his. There are things you can single out with people that makes it. But brands actually work when people with people what you see. Like for example, it happened with the VGMA, Kimpaluta ne Olive the Boy. Yeah. Olive the Boy had the biggest song more than Kimpaluta did, but Kimpaluta had the image. People knew Kimpaluta by Oni. You understand? So now. What they worked on compliments to his team. They did an amazing job. Now he has a unique hairstyle. His face is all over. And now, among folks say, yo, this is the boy. You understand? Because now it's mostly about what you see before even what you hear. There are rappers you probably don't even know them, but you know their songs. And there are people you know them, but you don't even know what they do. It's with Kim Kardashian. You know her.
Influencer.
They know you are an influencer. You understand? So now you one video, just one video, but you know her till now, and she's a billionaire and blah 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 and all that.
So it's time. I think one thing is about like you're saying. I think in 2025, maybe the definition of branding as such a decade ago now has changed.
Yeah.
Now, I feel that you have to be very amplified about your brand and plant your brand in people's head. You see why anytime we are describing Sarkodie, at a point in time, it was tema-based rapper. Until that one, Sarkodie suffered that. Until at a point in time, Ghana's the created rapper. They were intentional about giving that image to Sarkodie.
But you see, I'm not cutting you. But when they talk about, I think we have to do a part 2 of this because we didn't touch that part.
We would.
When they say they mention a tema-based rapper, it comes with some level of prestige. But when they say Kumasi-based rapper,
that means we have a lot to work on as people from Kumasi, where everything that we do shouldn't be seen as such, because it shouldn't be that me free tamale. and it's a derogatory word for me. It happens to a lot of people, not just Kumasi, but I think the Kumasi tag is where a lot of
Maybe
things
we
come.
have to
But
unlearn and then
no,
wear it with pride.
Yeah,
other
but
than-
we
other
wear
than
it
trying
with
to
pride because
suppress
there are
it.
artists now. Up until the Kumerican wave
came,
came,
they didn't want to disclose
people didn't
themselves
want
as
to do that.
belonging to-
But now, after the
It's a
Kumerican
flex.
wave, there are a lot of people who come in and then go like, yeah, Mifi Kumasi, because there's some sort of prestige attached to it. I don't want us to get into the tribal part of it, but there's this thing that the Ashantis and the Akans have started doing where they make you find prestige in what they do. So everybody wants to be associated with it.
now.
So that you understand?
Yeah.
It becomes derogatory when you don't want to own it. Let me just end by saying this. When I was in SS, there was a conversation that goes on and everybody goes like, Tenny.
Yeah.
I owned it, and aside being called Baby Bash, a lot of people called. The headmaster of my school called me Tenny, not in a derogatory way, but because I owned it and I kept it to my. And then everybody called me Tenny, and I was chest out with it. So you wouldn't be able to use that against me anymore. I have friends from SS who still call me Tenny till today, and I still own it. And it never gets to me as how it used to, or it gets to other people. So it's up to you to be able to take. It's like the N word. It's a derogatory word. It's from its inception and everything. It's a derogatory word. But now the blacks have picked it and owned it for themselves, and you understand, and use it to themselves. So it's all about how you're able to pick it up and then use it for yourself.
And I feel like we should stop looking at how people do their things from a different angle. Okay, because maybe I will be who is any panic fiki, but to the person, or you're just in a normal daily thing. No, you see, when you look at things from a certain angle, you become a hater.
Now,
No, but how?
So most of the people who do that end up in the way because I understand where you are coming from. But let's say right now.
Portfolio can say as part of the brand they can who be a friend be your quarter Benz. No, what you say? Because it is you polishing it. The things you wish to have, you start.
And I could afford it. No, and I could afford it.
Affordability.
So that is what I'm saying. That in as much as you want to keep up, you have to make sure. That is what I'm saying. Don't bow to him if he says all that, because so far as you are not indebted to anyone and you afford it and you set your priorities. At this point in time, but this is my priority before
Mama, you are telling me that
1 minute. You are telling me that they fake it till you make it, you approve it.
To a certain extent, but I will call it polishing till you shine, because if the world is competitive, look, if the world becomes competitive,
polishing now. 3 square meal crownya.
Oh, there be.
So
look. When you see, for a lady, faking it till you make it is very important, because look, if you want to meet a certain class of people, organize mingle with a certain class of people, men, obviously, say obey some type of men. You have to be at where these people are regular at. But even though on a normal day you can't afford it, but creating a conscious budget so that it gives you entry to places that you meet these kind of men.
Exactly.
That is good branding. No. Maybe who's a really man? No, branding is intentional.
Exactly.
No. See.
Enti obedu obesiana obe branding no sa onfa nko fie da. Ukosi ni bia usi ni junction. Dey bia usi ni junction.
People how they carry themselves.
See, how you carry yourself in common here.
No, carry yourself is different from.
Currently, if I'm to get a DB starter pack, and you know what a DB starter pack is called, Minyan DB starter pack is aname de oko. I will take you directly to my house, open the gate for you to enter and park your car. There is no fucking way you tell me say me a tenant was safe yo, and you would never know. You would never.
Because
on a regular day, I don't even look like
if you're
on a regular day, I swear say I don't look like a UM4, but and my friends they fucking know this.
And you
They
see-
know.
And one advantage.
But Otifia,
Let me
Packet
let me conclude
What
that.
I say?
Fearful.
Let me conclude that.
Wow.
Let me conclude that. No. No.
Me
and
say
yes,
I don't look like, bro.
But one thing
I
people
fucking
should know is that
sense.
there are also people
What?
who are blessed with how to decorate their hustle and
I
their
am
lifestyle.
one. Get to the Pro Max.
It doesn't mean they have it, but they are blessed with the
But-
expertise
but-
of.
The
So
point.
1 minute is that we are in a competitive market,
Yes.
and therefore you are not special if you don't create that specialty for yourself. What I say?
You
But-
look down upon
yes,
yourself.
and so
or
in
be
a
able to
competitive,
see
whatever
down on
it
you.
takes to back that, that is what I'm saying. So first, it brings you returns. Whichever means you use to bait, it's like a bait trying to go fishing. Whatever bait that you think will give you the returns, but I think faking it till you make it, if not profitable, is worthless. But so far as it's profitable, any means you use to back whichever juicy deal, use it and then create create a
1
solid-
minute.
So with
Bash.
faking you till you make it.
1 minute.
The problem that it has is most of the time you end up back to where you are from. And then if you are not able to mark your territory and know the kind of customers you are looking for, you end up falling short because Obasa will dress it in a certain way. Obasa will appeal to certain people. Who told you those certain people look out for people that you are trying to portray? That is when the problem arises. So when you are trying to build a brand,
you identify your
when you
your
are trying
niche.
to build you should be able to identify your reach and know that those people like you. So you don't have to force yourself and end up in a lot of depths where you just want to prove yourself that you are who you are not.
But sometimes
in
you
building
can,
your-
you can, you
so
can
your
build a brand to penetrate.
So
a
what I'm
market
saying
that doesn't
is,
belong
so
to
no, so your brand grows as you grow. You don't let your brand grow further than you can afford.
1 minute to hold.
Yeah.
Bridget, your last words in your wrap up your time.
They're
That is what kind of
makana,
last
makana.
words.
If you look at people's happiness level from a different angle, yeah, you are a hater or you're better. Leave people to do whatever they want to do with themselves. It's their body mindset. They are use your own for a different thing. Let people be. Namunja I say na or your fake settings. Settings crash. They do
Right, Charlie. This is an interesting conversation, man. But we have to come back again because the Kumasi rapper bit, we have to, touch on it and delve into it. But Charlie, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel at BKC Networks on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. Man.
But you do know that staying toxic against women is also your brand.
No, it's not a brand.
It's a brand. Being misogynistic is a brand. Being a woman hater.
If that's what he's known for, then it becomes his brand.
Of
It's
course.
not my brand.
You are very
That is
consistent
how
at this.
I was born.
So it's your brand.
No,
you are
you-
interrupting me.
No,
Let me-
remaining toxic. Toxic masculinity is also your brand.
No, this is
Alpha male.
this is how I
Alpha
am.
male, yes.
Una alpha male. Also, you're traditional. Una traditional man, right, Charlie? We do already I am cool. But see you in the next episode, man. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
The boys must be crazy.